so toxic.
Is it jealousy or is it love? Is it just me or is it fluff? Haters look you straight in your eyes, say you fly, laying crooked with a lie. Why hater, I'm greater, see my babe Taylor shrimp stitched to my heart, pacemaker quick on her eyes, Mr. Baker no lights, I'm a generator, now or later, love is labor, ain't ready to work, fade back, take but leave me alone, catch me in the zone, never feeling overthrown, can't love this high. Flying like a drone, can't play my character. It's something I own. Where was your love at home? It ain't love if you throwing stones. I'ma rep my God till I'm gone. Love is an action, some of y'all don't. Still give you love, though I know you won't. Fake lover with jealousy. Am I wrong? Is it jealousy or is it love? Is it just me? Or is it jealousy? If you love me, let me hear it. If it's jealousy, let me hear it. One love is the Uno, games played in the draw. It's a no-no, I say hi, you say hello. Where's the love in that? Black 50 shades of death, black 50 shades on my back. Hate that, hit me now, hand out, love them out. Can't speak love, tap in your mouth. Love who I am, man, with a stance. No need to be jealous or acting reckless. Hate me now, after this you love me to heaven. Do me dirty, I'ma pray about it. Do me dirty again, I don't know about it. Angry birds fed the weight about it. Learn something new from a dude with black attitude. Love songs and shoes, envy to you. You choose to do, love me for the mouse. I walked in these shoes, 8 miles on these dudes. 1 bars, can't stand behind it. I see stars, my little man shining. Everything I am, love defines it. Jealous Christians find a scripture to whine with. Preach about it, just my silence. My only love lost is the woman I ain't find yet. Jealousy, hates, love is timeless. By now you and your feelings going a mile a minute, gassed up on jealousy. My love never empty. Can't deceive a child for the love you envy. DJ spin this one more time for the love of it. If you never said it to my face, you a part of it. Phoenix high, I'm above, level up on it. Energize a marathon, faith rider. My only gift to the world is my presence inside of me. At the top of my game, love frequency. Hate the numbers you don't do. Don't hate the zero that's true to you. If it's jealousy, let me hear it. If it's real love, let me hear it. If it's jealousy, let me hear it. If it's real love, let me hear it. Man, I'm too high off of love to kill you in your feelings. Man, I'm too high off of love to kill you in your feelings. But it's all love though.
Hey, beautiful people, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to the first annual Artis Friends Holiday Jam. Chopra, I see you, man.
It's the
holidays. Hey,
it's time for the holidays. Can't believe we made it
through the maze.
It's been a long year coming.
Better bring a gift and the right attitude if you coming. It's the holidays.
You ready for the holidays? Hand in the
air, keep them raised, keep them up.
It's been a long year coming. That's right.
Better bring a gift and the right attitude if you coming. It's a tough one leading up to the birth of the Holy Son. Election sure, can't believe what happened. Many faces before Halloween, win me off that Trump regime. Yeah, I voted but ready to flee. 'Tis the season, oh the joy. Where's my money? In the stocking, under the tree. Hand-me-downs passed on like Parker to Ginobili. Baskets asking, barely got food in my mouth, but I'm rapping. Lost so many family, don't need these gifts, I'm rapping. In these minutes, Lord have mercy when we acting ignorant. Thankful for forgiveness, it's the holidays. Lift up your spirits. The best part is snowfall and spending time with your children. Ready to eat with the fam like.
No, my boys won't
win like. Who invited to come by like. Count down the days like. It's the holidays, holidays. Black joy on my face. It's the holidays, holidays. Thankful for the season, it's the holidays. Hey,
it's time for the holidays.
Hope y'all get hype right now. It's the first annual Artis Friends Holiday Jam. We right here at the Fillmore. For the holidays. Keep them raised, keep them up. Long year coming. Better bring a gift. Mixed feelings like a mixed drink. Wear your mask, stay 6 feet. I wanna be social, rise to the total. Black lives matter, not when you vocal. Holiday parties, not at the office. Secret Santa, buy with cautions. Probably not. Get the deal on group, Wait a minute, ain't got no coins saved. Keep myself paid. Logged on the Zoom to keep myself safe. This is my first holiday with my bae. Hey, holiday looking cray, ain't the same. Gotta keep the faith, gotta keep the faith, yeah. I'ma try to decorate. Not about the gifts, but the day he made, like, ready to cut up with my fam, like, you know I'm saving me a plate, like, who getting on them dishes, like, count down the days, like, it's the holidays, black joy on my face. It's the holidays. Thankful for the season. It's the holidays.
It's time for the holidays.
Hey, shout out to Tone Jones on this production, man. Long year coming. Better bring a gift and the right attitude if you coming. It's the holidays. Need that right energy, man. And keep them raised. You might be on your couch, but go ahead, put a hand up real quick for me. I know you bobbing. It's the holidays.
It's time for the holidays. Can't believe we
made it through we made it to the end, y'all. Another pandemic year. Attitude if you coming. It's the holidays.
Ready for the holidays.
Keep it going. Keep them up.
It's been a long year coming. That's right.
Better bring attitude if you coming. It's the holidays. Hey. Again, welcome to the first annual Artis Friends Holiday Jam. I thank you for joining me right now, right on here on Volume. Shout out to my Volume family. Shout out to my wife. I love you. My 2 boys, Jastin, Jameis. I love you. Jameis, rest in heaven. We gonna get into it tonight, y'all. We gonna get into it tonight. Holidays. Hey. Wow. We're not gonna run it back, but let me just set it up for y'all. Welcome. Oh, the room is plenty. I appreciate y'all. Again, welcome. I'm Jastin, artist, all the way here in the DMV, more of the V, Northern Virginia. Shout out to everybody here in the room who have purchased a ticket. This is my first virtual ticket event right here on Volume. So shout out to you all. I really do appreciate your time and your support. All right. Lights just went out. We're going to keep it going. I'm going to let you know I'm a one-man show right here. You know, I got my roadies over here, which is really just me. So please bear with me as I transition from song to song, grab my guitar, or maybe turn the lights back on because they just went out for some reason. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. Just to give you like order of what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do a small set here, and then I'm gonna bring one of my good friends on, and we're gonna talk and chat it up after the set, and then we're gonna be out. Again, your time here tonight and your money well spent. Portion of proceeds will go to a charity, and I'm really excited about that. I wanted to do an event that really just gave back. You know, this is not just about me. It's the holidays. I'm a parent, a lot of different things, so it was like, well, what can I do? One, to keep myself safe, and then bring everybody in, and Volume is the best platform to do it. So if you're ready to get more into some music, let me hear you say, oh yeah. Let me see some oh yeahs in here. And I'm going to check on the lights real quick. Can I get some oh yeahs? And shout out to my guy, Tone Jones. He's one of my favorite producers. He did It's the Holidays, this next song coming up. This time POE. I love working with dude, and just want to show love to him for sure. So I'm gonna check out On This Light, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm gonna just play It's the Holidays real quick. You know, it's gonna be the performance version, but y'all cool.
It's the holidays. It's time for the holidays. Can't believe we made it through the May. It's been a long year coming. Better bring a gift and the right attitude if you coming. It's the holidays. You ready for the holidays? Hand in the air, keep 'em raised. Keep 'em up. It's been a long year coming. That's right. Better bring a gift and the right attitude if you coming.
Yeah. Got some oh yeahs. Appreciate that. All right, got my lights on. Cool. So listen, one thing I did want to say is it's all positivity in the chat. You know, I have a lot going on for this production right now. So if you see me moving, the chat is over here. The camera's right here. Again, the stage, we at the Fillmore. This was the last performance I did in 2019, around this time before COVID hit. And so this is an actual picture that I took, trying to, enjoy my time before I hit the stage for 30 minutes. Yeah, man, look at all these people in here, man. I really appreciate that. That is love. All right, so we're going to get into it. This next record is called This Time. It's a New Year's song. So if you're starting off the year, let me just say this. You might have New Year's resolutions, right? Years back, I finally realized why wait until the new year. But every year, every day, we want to move up. So that's what this song is about. Floetic J, what up? Hey. This time next year, I'ma be higher. Looking down so far, cause I'm higher. This time I'ma go. This time next year, I'ma be higher. Grown man game in the sky, higher. This time I'ma go. Leaving the new year with hurt on my shoulder. 2 weeks for Christmas, he didn't get his gifts, dad feelings. All them bags, it's apparent when they tripping. I ain't gon' make it about my kid. Next year this time, see me multiply how I live. No resolution, mind clouded pollution. 98 problems, I back solutions. I make moves, yet you never see what I'm doing. Full force like I pull pork. The road less travel, I broke the fork. Man with the spirit, you better fear him, don't come near him. You playing them games, Starlight PR, about to bring some fame. Let me fall back with the arrogance. Dr. Strange, you know my name. His name, say it with your chest. Next year this time I'm getting checks. Okay. This time next year I'ma be looking down so far, cause I'm higher. This time I'ma go. This time next year I'ma be grown man game in the sky, higher. No limits, baby. This time. Okay. Dropped in the new year with sauce on my shoulders. Stay woke, Starbucky tried to lock me up. A cop would be so lucky. Feeling like a curse, but a blessing for the hurt. Many mistakes made with the ingredients for the growth you hate. No genius or a mastermind. Emotional IQ, Einstein. Under pressure, I'm a diamond. Surrounded by spirit, I'm an island. Faith saved the date, no time, no waste. If I love in the line, you couldn't trace how I bling your distractions. If you want it bad enough, Kaepernick till it happens. Be a humble prize like Kendrick. Let them be mad when you speak truth. Independent, never too long in your feelings. Alienate these gowns like God intended. Next year, this time we win it. This time next year, I'ma be looking down so far, cause I'm higher. This time I'ma go. You ready for the next level, man? Say next level in the chat. This time next year, I'ma be grown man game in the sky, higher. This time I'ma go. This time. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta soup yourself up, man. This time I'ma go. This time.
The spirit is on next year.
Hey.
I'ma be here. Grown man
Game in the sky,
all the way
higher,
up. This time I'ma
no
go.
limits. This time.
Okay.
Hey, we got more people in the room. What up?
Yeah.
We going to the next level.
Trying to be somewhere different next year, man.
This time.
In the work.
What you do?
Put in the work.
What you do?
Put in the work.
What you do?
Put in the work.
Hey,
This time,
if you want
this
something
time.
new, man,
Let's
you gotta
work
do something
together,
different. Gotta do something different. Gotta do something different. Hey, I'm gonna play with the fade. Hey. Love it. Yeah, man. How y'all feeling? Sometimes you gotta shoot all the time. You have to cheer yourself on, man. So I hope you're cheering yourself on, because I'm cheering for you. Again, I appreciate everybody in the room. Everybody's trying to go to the next level. Let me get a sip of my tea. Yeah. All right, so we're going to move into the next song. It's called Purpose Over Everything, a.k.a. P.O.E. But to give myself a breather, it's a video.
Say purpose over everything.
Yeah. I'm at that moment in my life. It's purpose over everything. Power in the struggle. It's purpose over everything. Reps for the muscle. It's purpose over everything. Torn with the tussle. It's purpose over everything. More than the hustle. It's purpose over everything. Ride with that POE. Fly with that POE. God with that POE. Rise with your POE. Ride with that POE. Fly with that POE. God with that POE. Die for your POE. Picture pennies to play at the day job. Countless corporate crimes, get your spirit robbed. Guard your heart and let it throb. Call independent, ain't nobody willing. Man in the mirror can't reflect what's missing. Tied in the noose, only thing I'm married to is God and my muse. Know the rules, didn't break it. Code name, Whiskey Tatum. We kings, man. Let nobody take it. Shut up and ball. Can't talk so high and your actions ball. Tag with the step, 2 and did. Know the word, but see what's meant in the fine print. Just us, 1+, no minus, the purpose. Now I learned my lesson. Devil, you can't have it. God is always present. My purpose is fluorescent. Power in the struggle. It's purpose over everything. Reps for the muscle. It's purpose over everything. Torn with the tussle. It's purpose over everything. More than the hustle. It's purpose over everything. Ride with that POE. Fly with that POE. God with that POE. Rise with your POE. Ride with that POE. Purpose. Fly with that POE. God with that POE. Die with that POE. Perpetrating, plotting for that paper. Can't come close to the spirit, feeling greater. Focus for the fakers, watching. High haters, hail to the Martian. Alienation is a problem, bring me in the spirit like it's pollen. Can't wash it, can't deny. Got it out first, even when it hurts. Oh, we all dying. I'm a black male dead artist. You either on my drop or on the clutch, stalling Linkin Park crawling. I say it's soaring, warriors, mount up, catch your breath in the moment. Don't lose your mind like a ditty theft. Bank on me like a check. Purpose go and go like invasion. Cardi B, see me coming on my P.O.E. Now I learned my lesson. Devil, you can't have it. God is always present. My purpose is fluorescent. Power in the struggle. It's purpose over everything. Reps for the muscle. It's purpose over everything. Torn with the tussle. It's purpose over everything. More than the hustle. It's purpose over everything. Ride with that POE. Fly with that POE. God with that POE. Rise with that POE. Ride with that POE. Fly with that POE. God with that POE. Die for the POE. It's that purpose. It's purpose over everything. It's that purpose. It's purpose over everything. It's that purpose. It's purpose over everything. It's that purpose. It's purpose over everything.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Cameron Simmons for shooting that one. That was a random video I was supposed to do. I wasn't supposed to do. I was doing a show, and the show got real delayed or something. And he was like, "Hey, yo, you want to shoot a video?" I was like, "Yeah." So we did it. Appreciate you, brother. And I believe it's my guy Mike who did the edit on that, man. So shout out to y'all. So I forgot to mention that, being an engineer, producer, songwriter, hip hop writer, poet, I want to make sure y'all can hear everything A-okay. So after all the testing I did this week, I think I was supposed to turn down the music just a wee bit. So please, somebody tell me, how is it for you? Can you hear me okay? Let me know something. I'm turning down my music just a wee bit because that was my plan coming into today. So, all right, wifey says I'm good. All right, so this is an old one, but a classic. Hold on for a second. It's so crazy. It's like I'm not that tall, but I'm tall enough. So weird. William, appreciate that. All right, this song is about patience and it's called Wait. One, two, three, four. Perfect separation has to be sliced, but takes time to be conceived and birthed. Takes time to find the right one to marry. Now you know that takes time. So why do we find ourselves rushing time, beating time, moving time, losing time, and forgetting time? When all we have to do is wait. Patience is a virtue, but takes time. To have a foundation in anything takes time. To be prepared for everything, now you know that takes time. So why do we find ourselves rushing time, beating time, moving time, losing time, and forgetting time? When all we have to do is wait. Better have patience if you really want it. Talk that faith only works if you own it. Own it, own it, own it. Time flies when you deny God's wrath. Electric in his pen in his pad. Don't be mad, cause you gotta wait. Hungry, wait for your plate. Wait on your dick to see a pretty face. How great, great is our God. Taking for his glory, I'm so alive. Master to the core, so many points. We'll run the score. Only one man can have all this power. Give me more. Jump that face, stare fate in his face and watch him wait. Daddy coming for you, Jace, wait. Then my spirit never see me break. Fast and curious wait. Means your heart is never too late. Stop. Eating time. Moving time. Losing time. And forgetting time. And all we have to do is what, y'all? Yeah. Round of applause, round of applause. Here you go, Johnny. Johnny's my roadie, y'all. Johnny's my roadie. Shout out to my guy, Johnny, though. This is my first guitarist. I don't know if he's watching, but much love to you, brother. Much love to you. Woo! All right, all right. Everything sounding good, y'all? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Please, please show all the love you can in the chat. Please show all the love you can in the chat. Mingle amongst each other. You know, do your thing. I really do appreciate it. Wow, the numbers keep going up, man. I appreciate y'all. Again, this is my first annual Artis and Friends Holiday Jam. We'll talk more about, you know, what the idea was and the catalyst behind it. But, you know, I feel good to be able to be here right now. I thank God for this very moment. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, I got to switch things up, y'all, so give me a moment. Keep it like this. Test. Okay, cool. So this next one is very dear to me. The catalyst is I did a remix to Ryan Leslie's Glory. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. Oh. Shout out to them amps. I appreciate you. So yes, Ryan Leslie did a song called Glory about 10 years ago, I believe. And I loved it. I felt like it was my sound, the hip hop Renaissance sound, which is a mixture of hip hop, gospel. Obviously, I play guitar, acoustic, and electric, and poetry. And, you know, Ryan Leslie is one of my favorites, you know, artists, more so producer, songwriters. And I did the remix, loved it. I got a lot of great feedback, but then I was like, I can't do nothing with this. You know, copyright infringement. I think I performed it like once, maybe twice. And it hit me like, wait a minute, I can't really be doing this. And so just recently, a couple of months ago, I decided to create my own version. Again, I'm a producer, and I'm excited to share this with y'all. It's going to be on the upcoming album, Love and Darkness 2, coming out next year. I want to shout out on background vocals, my homegirl all the way in LA, Samira Finley. You killed it. And my other homegirl, Adrian Taylor. If you're watching, you probably don't even know what's about to happen, though, because, you know, the part you sent me, yeah, check it out. It's called Tag This, y'all.
Glory.
Yes, God. Yes, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Everything, good and bad, it's all for your glory, God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Like you, I was born in sin. I knew one day the pleasure would end, and I would begin a new side, a new color, the blood, and my flesh would have to die. So long to you and the harmful gestures. The wrong people I did let fester. Fighting for nothing left me no peace. Yet still I enjoyed my moment of time that left me pleased. From death to now, destiny's on the high. She said, Jastin, your name is written across the sky. Follow directions, handle rejections. Then you can receive your miracles and your blessings. Like number one holding me on Reverb Nation, I birthed something and push with the purpose. Welcome to my world now. He's the master and I'm just a puppet. Now you can open the curtains. To your greatness, on the hunt I'm chasing. God your mercy, no explaining. I stay stationed, not complaining. Things around me changing, a whirlwind of truth I'm facing. Makeup can beauty, this one weight drop to steady my run. The power you spoke in me is a ton. The bigger picture I paint, the brighter your glory, I can't faint. The cool breeze, the feeling of your spirit, I'm tearing, speaking these lyrics. Everything I am came from music, that's how you used it, I can't abuse it. Sticking to the same story, I tag this on for you, God, to give you all the glory. Glory, tag this for God's glory. Tag this for God's glory. Tag, 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 tag. Tag this for God's glory. Tag this for God's glory. Let me hear you say tag, 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 tag. My shirt expands, the tag says I can iron low. Starts with heart, 10, I'm ready, I'm set, let's go. Separate the parts, worship God from the start. How do you see it? Praise for show? No, I raise my hands cause I know He gave me a measure. I counted in to receive His treasures. The next place in this race is a new realm and glory. Fit for the journey, sneakers hit the road in the story. I tag this for God's glory, for His glory. Tag this for God's glory. Tag this for God's glory. Tag, 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 tag. One more time, say tag this for God's glory. Tag this for God's glory. Tag, 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 tag. The narrator tells the truth with ink. History, don't be mad, timing I just sat for a drink. A toast and a praise to God's glory. I love you. Tag this for God's glory. Tag this for God's glory. Tag, 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 tag. Say it again, say tag this for God's glory. Tag this for God's glory. Let me hear you say tag, 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 tag. Yeah. If you didn't know, I love God, man. If you didn't know, I love God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Woo. What y'all think of that? Damian Lewis, what up, man? I thought I saw you in here earlier. Big Rez. Hey, shout out to my guy, Big Rez, man. He's a young producer. He helped me on that track as well. He lives all the way in India, and it's like crazy late in the morning. He's on here right now, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All the love. Artis and Friends. Y'all out here. Y'all showing up, man. I appreciate that. I don't even know where I'm supposed to go. What song am I going to? Let me check the set list. We going to a video. This next video is This Black Skin. It's off of my 9th project, Love and Darkness 1. So then you got 2 that's coming out next year. And so Tag This will be on 2. And This Black Skin is the first single from that album. And it's just about love being who you are. You know, I'm a black man in America. And everybody knows the history, things that have been going on. And I wanted to make something positive, but still relevant to what we deal with. But it's not to exclude anyone either, because no matter where you from, where you are, the shade of your skin, gender, all these different things, be who you are. Shout out to my guy Corey of CDS Visions, who did the video, came up with the idea, directed it, shot it, edited, everything. So I appreciate you.
Welcome to the black party for us. Let me hear you say, I'm black and I love it. That's right. If you black, be proud of that. Take no slack. For every color person, here's your power back. If you black, be proud of that. Take no slack. For every color person, here's your power back. Power back, we ready for the fight. We ready for the flight. We take off with no wings despite. We give this world life, it's only right. We demand more than Black Lives Matter on your website. Stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. The world thrives off of our black fingers. Have the freedom to ring, the love to sing. We the future they can be. Let's stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. Get shade of black stars, light like silver. The push of the black fist, the language of what's happening. You gotta be proud of this black skin. The arc of our country was built in the backs of our black men, our black women. Let's never forget, we've never forgotten what was stolen and broken, sold for lazy dollars, and us hoping, coping. Our moms and dads could only communicate about the rat race. We had to learn about hate, wanna be us so badly you trace our black face. You wanna be us, you wanna be us. Who amongst us is the Judas? The hate in the world is robust. Bigger than that, the mass you cast, the vid can't slow down a mass. The skin with this kind of craft. I'm proud to be black, spirit bounce back. Surface haters really love under that. We brought you inventions, rarely get mentioned unless an item goes missing. Without our swag, everything missing. Stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. The world thrives off of our black fingers. Have the freedom to ring, the love to sing. We the future they can be. Let's stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. Get shade of black stars, light like silver. The push of the black fist, the language of what's happening. You gotta be proud of this black skin. Every boy and girl, get your hands up. Where the sun shine for the world to light up. Every king and queen, get your hands up. Where the sun shine for the world to light up. Never ever ever better than black. Never ever ever better than that. Never ever ever better than black. Never ever ever better than that. Stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. The world thrives off of our black fingers. Have the freedom to ring, the love to sing. We the future they can be. Let's stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. Get shade of black stars, light like silver. The push of the black fist, the language of what's happening. You gotta be proud of this black skin. I love being black. In order to trigger the output, you need a black key. The essence of our cool, the demand of our culture, and our nature to create life out of death. Man, I love being black. Stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. Get shade the black stars, like silver. The push of the black fish, the language of what's happening. You got to be proud of this black skin. Stay encouraged, young brother, young sister. I'm black and I love it.
Yeah. Man, that video crazy, man. Did y'all see me on the wing though? Come on, man. We kind of tussle about that on me on the wing, man. But everybody seemed to like it, so we went with it, man. Again, shout out to my guy Corey for that one. He's a beast. He's out here in the DMV in Baltimore, so y'all check him out. Yeah, Big Rez, I appreciate it, Damien. I appreciate it. So if y'all enjoying yourselves, let me hear you say, oh yeah. If you enjoying yourselves, type in the chat, oh yeah. The numbers are going up, man. I really appreciate that. Volume, again, thank you for your support. and trying to get this event together. Again, it's my first virtual concert charity event. And so, again, the proceeds will be going to a charity. A portion of the proceeds go to charity. I am a full-time musician. All right. So, yeah, we got some oh yeahs. All right. Cool. So let me get some snaps now. Let me make sure y'all still awake. Hey, Damian Lewis, hey, I appreciate you, man. You know, take care of your people. You're working and you're watching. You're working and you're watching. I appreciate it. But if you want some more poetry, let me hear you say, oh, yeah, or snaps, whatever you like to do, you know. This is going to be the title track of Love and Darkness 1. And, yeah, we just going to get into it. As I hear the crowd sing their love for an artist expressing their words on stage, I wonder, how has their love changed? I mean, yeah, fans love you, but what's your love like? 'Cause mine is real. Can they still love or be loved in the lowest light? Liking someone isn't loving someone. Loving with the motive isn't love. 'Cause you could do one good thing for me isn't love. Love under conditions with language omissions isn't love. So what's your love like? 'Cause mine is real. Is it put that on everything I love? Is it jealousy and fluff? Or is it a bottomless pit of soul that when I can't seem to crack a smile, your integrity dresses me whole? A sea of darkness can't drown your love ashore. People lust in darkness and give up loving in the light, but don't realize darkness makes love shine nova bright. Every entity of love has a darkness, but no lines. Any man or woman that's heartless has yet to be defined. Love now is an app. Find me official, K-Cupid, love me tender, Lord, don't let him act stupid. It's I love you today, what you gonna do for me tomorrow? Love never clocks out, just knocks you out. When it gets a hold of you, oh, you gotta cry out. Why does love need to be made into movements? It rules all, whether winning it or losing it. It's the only thing on earth you can get both. Being loved back or love hurt. I've experienced the statistics of physics and love versus selfishness, which ends a great deal of marriages like Black lives imprisonment. True love is tested, not barred. Lose everything to win what's important. Love is wine, but not imported. Watch the devil cooking up recipes for me to eat so I get the itis to not love me. Man, please. I crave my love, shaken, not stirred. Hip-hop soulful and lyrics heard. But the best beauty about love in the dark, you really see its essence when the light dims and you're falling apart. So what's your love like? 'Cause mine is real. I've been accused of abuse and my child taken from my arms in view. Then my second child born early, but death was the news. But I still got love. How about you? I've been treated like a criminal because my health ceased at a time clocks didn't tick, but I still got love through it. I fall into places defeated, mentally decreasing my own love, but his love mounted me up. Love should feel like I'm worthy to be loved. So it makes you want to give more love. That's God's love. Be love, not just a pumping heart. Be love when the light is dim in the dark. Thank you. Yeah, that one's, whew. I performed that a few times on here now, on volume. And I don't know, that might have been my best one yet, I think. I really enjoyed doing that one. Yeah, Love and Darkness out now. Please go stream it. You know, we're still trying to get to a million streams, y'all. We're still trying to get to 1 million streams. That was the goal I set out. I got my boy Troy, aka Troper, waiting in the green room right now. I got 2 more songs to go, and I'm gonna just get to it. Don't want us to run out of time for this evening. Oh man, this feels good, y'all. This is a new song as well. It's called Friends. Just know you can't take everybody with you where you're trying to go. People, situations, no matter who they are, man. So I wanted to write about this one. It's going to be on again. Love and Darkness. Dose.
Who's really a friend? Who's really a friend? Who's really a friend?
Who's with me in here? Who's with me? Who's with me?
Who's really a friend? You. Who's really a friend? You. Who's really your friend? Tired of the same conversations again.
We connected on the common ground. It made no sense for me to turn it down. Everybody got a friend that make you laugh loud. Marathon don't stop cause now we in the house. This about to hit home for you. Pandemic kinda cold for you. Look at the receipt for what they sold to you. Pull the plug on the power they don't like for you. It's just a halo above you. It's all love. No one's perfect, but you gotta love when they lack the potential. Pull them over like a cop and ask them for their credentials. Everybody there when you up. At the bottom of death, you wonder who gon' show up. It ain't who you thought it was. I bet you got a friend you need to cut. Who's really a friend? Who's really a friend? Who's really a friend? Tired of the same conversations again. Who's really a friend? Who's really a friend?
Who's really your friend?
Is it you?
Man, I ain't got time for this again.
Love with no points is an inbound. Sees our friends broken at the playground. Toys R Us Christians pouting when you not around. When you scale to his will, check the pounds. Like the front desk, you checking in. Many men got their arrogance, tell you about their success, but never win. You need them the most, don't call them months, but say you close, call you bros.
Fresh and broke.
No more tug of war, I let go. Never heard my music, but you know I'm about to blow. What you mean you never been to a show? Talked about it 37 hours clear, but you made a story out of it. The pure value of my love can't be quantified. I'd rather be alone and die than have a friend who hides the darkness of their pride. I'ma leave like the season exit, goodbye.
Who's really a friend? You. Who's really a friend? You.
Who's really a friend?
Tired of the same conversations again.
Who's really a friend?
You. Who's really a friend?
Is it you?
Who's really your friend? You.
Listen, y'all.
Man, I ain't got time for this again.
If you know you got a friend you need to let go, tell them how you feel and let them cut their own rope. They not bad, don't feel sad, you gotta grow. God removed them to give you peace for your soul. If you know you got a friend you need to let go, tell them how you feel and let them cut their own rope. They not bad, don't feel sad, you gotta grow. God removed them to give you peace for your soul. Who's really a friend? Who's really a friend?
Who's really your friend?
Is it you?
Is it you? Who's really your friend?
You?
Who's really your friend?
Is it you?
Who's really your friend?
Shout out to Tim Ross on guitar,
man. I ain't got time for this again. Who's really your friend? You. Who's really a friend?
Is it you?
Who's really your friend? You. Tired of the same
conversations again. Just remember, man, everybody can't go with you. Recognize your stress. Protect your peace. Yeah, shout out to my guy Tim Ross again on guitar, rhythm guitar. I had to come in and play on the solo. Man, I got a little hype on that one, man. I missed a few lines on that. I'm a little upset. You know, that's my joint. That's my joint. So listen, y'all, we going into the last song. I really hope you guys enjoyed the set. After the set, we'll get into the interview. And this one, if you don't know, I am, I'm really a producer, writer, and I'm into sync music. Focus on getting my music into TV, films, commercials, wherever. and I wanted to do another Christmas song. So shout out to my homegirl, Samira Finley. When I wrote this one, she was the first person I thought of, and I was like, yo, what you think? She loved it, did her thing, and so I'm debuting it. It's a lot of new music tonight, all right? So it's going to be a video, and then we'll be back to move into the next segment.
Christmas time, and you know I wanna spend it with you. It's your presence making me feel new. 'Cause it's Christmas time. I'm so glad it's near that special time of year. Both of us are here, and I got everything I want now. You're my angel, so there's no need to send Santa a long letter, 'cause it don't get no better than you. It's Christmas time, and you know I wanna spend it with you. It's your presence making me feel new. 'Cause it's Christmas time.
A few weeks away from work, it's no time for sharing. We can decorate, plan days, stuff our face. There's nothing we can't do. I know you got the time, won't you spend it with me? I love your company, but not your employee. Family coming over, can't wait till they leave. Thankful for our love, kiss me by the Christmas tree. So baby, who are we inviting again?
Baby, I told you 5 times already.
I'm just saying, I want to make sure we invite the people that we want to invite. 'Cause to be honest, I just want to be with you.
Is that so?
Yeah, you know it is. So let's make sure they don't stay too long, alright?
I got you, baby. It's Christmas time, and you know I wanna spend it with you. It's your presence making me feel new. 'Cause it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time, and you know I wanna spend it with you. It's your presence making me feel new. 'Cause it's Christmas time.
Hey, what's going on? For some reason, I can't hear you. Hold on, I can't hear you. Give me 1 second.
Nah, it's me. It's me. I'm with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I,
with
I
you.
can hear you clearly
I
now.
had the
All
mute
right,
on.
cool.
Yeah, man. What's good with you, man? I see my Ecan just brought you
Hey,
in, so it's all
yeah,
good.
it
But
really did. It
yeah,
really
my bad. But listen, I'm
did.
gonna do a quick intro, so you hold on for a second. But listen, folks, I really appreciate y'all being here. We're gonna move into the next part. I thought it would be great for me to bring a dear friend of mine that I have gotten to know over, I think, like the last year. And he's going to interview me, so y'all get to learn more about me. You heard the music. Now you can actually learn about me and what I do and how I do it. So my guy Troy is the operator and owner of the multimedia platform Human that allows us to engage and learn different perspectives and recognizing that we are all human. So without further ado, I bring Troy, a.k.a. Chopra, to the stage. So what's up, man? How you doing?
Thank. I am doing great. Thank you for choosing me to interview you. Towards the tail end of the interview, I'll leave with an outro.
For sure.
But this is about you. You
For
know, this
sure.
is your night. I love the performance. Great background, by the way. Amazing background. Nice
Thank you.
picture.
Oh, shout
Nice
out to my
picture.
guy Damian
100%.
Lewis. Every I believe just about every graphic that you saw, he did. I think I did one of them. So shout out to my guy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very good flyers. Very great flyers. I love it. I love it. How are you feeling, first and foremost, man, after this performance? How are you feeling?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. God is good because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I almost canceled. Um, one dealing with invisible disability like fibromyalgia ain't no joke. I'm
Mm.
still in this wave of just kind of finding a rhythm on how to manage it, and then I got some new stuff going on that really messes with my breathing. And as you can tell, like I go in, I don't just be doing nursery rhymes, So
You do not.
I
You
didn't
do not.
really, I didn't really like rehearse the way I rehearse, Troy. Like I usually do for any show, whether it's a song. I got a catalog. I got 9 albums, so I could go 2 hours if I want to,
Mm.
right? Um,
Mm.
I usually go about 2 hours, sometimes three, depending like how intense. It's like a workout. You know what I mean? I do that every day leading up to the event. I did not do that this time. And your health, you got to pivot sometimes. So I was like, I don't really want to cancel. I'm a true professional. The show must go on. And so I thought I was going to feel worse by the
Mm.
time we got to this moment, but I actually feel pretty good. So again, God is good, man. God, yeah, that round of
Yes, he
applause on that
is.
for
Yes,
sure.
he is. Yes, he
The
is.
higher
Yes, he
powers,
is. You were
whoever you
here with
believe,
us, man.
somebody out there for me.
Yes, indeed. Somebody's out there cheering for you, man. You're still here with us. So I wanted to kick this off by asking you, what is your favorite part about the holidays?
Ooh, well,
Go.
if I'm gonna be honest,
Go.
the holidays aren't as fun for me as it used to be.
Mm.
I am an alienated parent to my oldest, Jace. Jace, what up? I love you, man. Um, and so since that life-changing event happened, which is for people that don't know, the opposing parent just doesn't allow you to be the parent that you want to be, right? And
Hmm.
it just changed everything for me. It actually happened around the holidays, so I think that's another reason why. It started out as a very what's that thing called, domestic violence situation, which was fake and drama,
Mm.
and I was removed from the home, and then you just start the cycle of the separation because I was married at the time, and then you don't get to see your kids, like.
Mm.
So yeah, for like the last, he's 8, so I think January would be about 7 years that this happened. So the last 7 years it has not been the same for me, just
Mm.
because I don't get to, which I guess to your question is just spending time. Quality time is important to me. It's not.
Yes, indeed.
I think too, like because of the situation and figuring out the type of parent that I want to be, the man, and um, it's not about the gifts, man. Like I'm just thankful, obviously for God and what that represents. But the rest of it, I think you start to like maybe certain situations. If like for me, the veil comes off and you're like, oh, this is what Christmas is really about, right? Like, oh, okay,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
but typically the food, whoever's family, is always a good portion because a brother is thin, but I love to eat. Okay, um, you know what I'm saying?
I like
Love to eat.
Thanksgiving for that one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Christmas you get down too. Most people.
Yeah, they
Um,
do.
Christmas movies, definitely. I think over the years, recently, I've gotten more into Christmas music, especially or holiday music, especially with new artists. You know, I love the old school stuff, but I love the new school too. It's just real different, man. But that's why I made the holidays, man.
I have another question before I ask that question, something a little bit
Yeah.
smaller that I just thought of just now. So, what would be, if you can name off the top of your head, what would be your favorite Christmas song from the old school and your favorite Christmas song from the new school?
Oh man, come on, man! Don't do that to me.
Mm.
I can't even think of the song. I believe it's the Temptations. There's one that they sing that I love. I feel like there's another one that Frank Sinatra does that I love. And then I think White Christmas, I think is the name. Like I'm horrible with holiday song names and stuff, but I can tell you that.
Me too.
Now, as far as new school, and I've seen there's a few people that drop some Christmas music this season, like Tori Kelly. I haven't listened to it yet, and there's somebody else. But John Legend's joint that he dropped last year, phenomenal. Lecrae and them, Reach Records, they dropped a holiday album, and you know they're like, you know, hip hop, little R&B, masterful. Because they had some of everything on there, so I think those are a few. Yeah, Chopra asking all these good questions. That's why I got him here, y'all.
Yeah.
I call him Chopra.
Chopra, the male version of Oprah.
Yeah.
Moving forward, what was the inspiration behind this holiday jam and your set list?
So, shout out to my friend Miss Linda Greenwood. She's a radio personality in North Carolina, and I was on a Clubhouse event of hers, maybe like late September or something. And, you know, she's geared more in the gospel world. And they were having a conversation about, you know, artists connecting to the community for the holidays. And since I've met her, she's always been talking about getting Christmas music out there. You know, people start that in the summer. Excuse me. And it just hit me. I was like, yo, I should do a holiday show. Like, yo, I should do that. And I mean, it really just sparked just like that. And then I was like, you know, given my health and you know, the pandemic, and it's just like, well, first of all, I ain't trying to spend a whole lot of money in doing it, right? So it was like, well, where could I do it that's going to give me this great audio? And I was like, wait a minute, Volume. That's why I love Volume. Shout out to Volume. Let me give y'all a round of applause. So I really just was like, okay, this would be perfect for me to do that. And I just kind of put it together, you know, very last minute ish. And I talked to a friend of mine about it. Shout out to Fallon, and shout out to my guy Jordan. They were kind of my sounding boards, as well as my wife. And the idea was, it went from me just performing, you know, getting a ticketed event. Portion of proceeds will go to a charity. But the idea shifted to having other artists come onto the platform and perform, you know, because, you know, I don't sing like that, so I can't be out here singing Christmas songs other than what I've done, right? So it was like, hey, they could do a cover and do original song, ask them some questions, and kind of go in that rhythm. And I would just kind of maybe open up the show, close the show type of thing. And it just didn't work out, you know, given the time limit and everything. But I do want this to be an annual thing. You know, again, Artis Friends Holiday Jam next year, maybe 4 or 5 artists do their thing. And I'll be more of the host, I think, in that way. But again, I think there's so many ways we could do it. You know, we could still do it virtual. We could, you know, maybe if things are better, it could be a live event. So it just, you know, it just kind of depends. But I'm so glad I did it.
So I never knew that artists put out, you said something earlier that struck me. You said that artists start putting out their music for Christmas during the summer.
Yes. So,
Why is that?
well,
That's
not so
interesting.
much artists putting it out, but radio definitely wants music as early as the summer because
Oh
some
wow.
stations, like my friend Miss Linda, plays. They have, I think she calls it Christmas in July. Sometimes you might see like on the Hallmark Channel, they playing
Mm-hmm.
Christmas movies in the summer.
Yeah,
Um,
I've
and
heard of
then
Christmas in
now
July. Yes.
learning in sync, you want to kind of get that ball rolling early in case your song has an opportunity to be in said Christmas movie and such. So, um, yeah, it's a different game when you're talking about holiday music. But obviously, you don't want to
Wow.
be too early. But there are some entities that start playing those Christmas songs and stuff like that, or looking for things so they can be prepared for the holiday season. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and when you touched on artists and friends, how did you come up with the name? It seems it's an amazing name. It's definitely catchy. Because it's artists, which is your last name,
Come
and
on
friends,
now.
but you could also take it as artists, like other artists and their friends that also come on board your holiday jam to perform. And like you said, your original approach was to ask them questions and find out more about them for the audience of different people's friends coming together as a collective unit to then watch the show. So what is the inspiration behind Artists and Friends?
Um, I mean, it was just my way to give back. That's really all it was. And Troy, we went over me playing some music, so I'm playing the music right now. If it's too loud, y'all let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I
Hey,
mean,
turn it up a
honestly,
little bit.
you say turn it up a little
Turn
bit.
it, you can turn it up a little bit. Yeah, that's fine.
But it was really just about. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and it wasn't planned for me to really be a musician and the type of
Mm,
musician that I am. It's about the people, and I think given the pandemic, it's like, well, what can I do with my art, with my skills? What can I do? And I got to be mindful again, of my health, like we all do, and it was like just because I've chosen to not be out as much or only when necessary doesn't mean I can't do something. And so,
mm.
like I said, as soon as I heard Miss Linda bring up this idea of like, connecting with the community and doing this, and I was like, boom, I could do it online, you know. And then just names, I mean, that's just part of the game. Like, I think I know my wife and we went down like some lists. I
Hmm.
think my friend Fallon and I think we might have went through a few. No, I think it was my wife and I. We actually, one of us said Artists and Friends, and then I think one of us said Holiday Jam, and then I was like, oh, we could just so something of the
Blend the
sort. It
two
came
together.
together. Yeah, yeah. But to your point,
Shout out to your wife.
yeah. To your point, artists. I can always play on that, and artist is actually my middle name. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
it's Jastin Artist Bats.
Yep.
Am I
Yep.
correct?
He got my whole
Okay.
government out there,
Okay.
y'all. Y'all can find me on LinkedIn, you know.
um, I wanted to revert back to the questions I have here for you today and ask you, how do you gather inspiration for your performances?
Oh yeah, you did mention the set list. Well, obviously, realizing what type of artist I am, I know I can't do things like everyone else who can sing, right?
Right.
And so, granted, the theme is holiday, but like your question earlier, what's the favorite part about the holiday? And as you can tell, the set list is, everything is always God themed. Not like you're wrong and you need to, but He's everything to me. What you see and who I am is because of Him. Period. Like,
Mm,
so that's in the music, and obviously that's part of the
your
holiday.
inspiration.
But then just thinking about love, I just dropped the ninth album, Love and Darkness. So I know it'd be themed in that way. obviously this was my first time performing actually a lot of these songs. So it's the holidays. I put out last Christmas, I think. Yeah. So I'm just excited. You know, I finally got a Christmas song, you know what I mean? And then the one Samira and I were working on, it was like, oh, well, I could debut that, see what people think, and then just kind of correlate everything, you know, according to that.
Together.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure, let's check on the people in the chat real quick. How y'all doing in here? Y'all enjoying this interview? Where we at? I see the numbers keep going up, man. I appreciate y'all joining us, man. Troy and I just in here having a great talk about who Jastin Artis is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right, go ahead, brother.
We do have somebody in the chat.
Yeah, my guy Big Rez all the way in India.
So I wanted to shout out to Big Rez in India. I wanted to reinstate the question is, how do you gather inspiration for your performances? Where do you gather the inspiration from?
I don't want to sound like too professional here, but
no problem.
It's like I think there's kind of, it's two sides. So of course you have what the event is, the audience, you know, who am I in front of? What is the theme of the event? That dictates the set list. You know what I mean? That lets me know what direction I'm going in. The beauty of what I do, being a hip hop Renaissance artist, I can do a whole hip hop set. I could do an acoustic set. I could do a poetry set. You know, most rappers can't do that. It's just hip hop. You know what I mean? They play the beat. Let me spit. There's a little more to it for me. And so in something like this where I'm creating my own, but often when I have a chance to do at least more than one song, I try to split what I do. So if it's a 3-song set, I'll do a hip hop one, I'll do a poetry, and I'll do something with the guitar, right? I did a graduation one time and I just played, you know what I mean? The skill set that I have, man, is put me in different spaces, which is interesting. So that always dictates where I go. And then I think just the spirit of my music is inspiration enough. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my music is not just a mood. It's like a mind state. You know what I mean? It's a true mind state, you know? And though I try to do different things and try to have different styles as far as like up tempo, because I'm a very chill dude, and but that kind of like rides me to where I need to be, and then hopefully it resonates, you know.
Great answer. I liked it, especially the mind state.
Yeah.
Your music is not a mood; it's a mind state.
Yeah.
That is.
I like that. I just thought of that. I really just thought of that. So I gotta make a post on that.
Why for those who are, you know, musicians who are watching this live and who will be watching it later, I see that you have a lot of collaborators with you who helped you bring this to fruition. And I wanted to ask, why is it important to have other collaborators on a project?
I mean, one thing that I've noticed in doing anything, like, you can't do it by yourself. I mean, I believe as entrepreneurs, you know, there's a threshold that you get to by yourself, right? And some of us are able to really get to where we are, but it's very far and few in between. And even, I think even those people still, they had at least one person that either funded it or, you know, this big opportunity was one person that put them in front of, you know. And but for me, I've always wanted to work with people. There's a different side of me that comes out. There's a different just vibe that comes out when you work with different people, creatively as well as business wise. And so I have a circle of people that I know I can go to with my creative stuff. And the pandemic has really opened that up. And for a long time, it was like, I haven't changed, but I got a lot of no's, you know. And I think oftentimes from the little bit the feedback that I've gotten is that, Jastin, you got your stuff together and I don't. It makes me realize that I don't, so I can't rock with you yet. And I'm like, okay, that's respect. But it'd be like, yo, you dope though. Like, we can work on it, you know? Like nah. But recently, I feel like people they recognize it. You know, they know I'm genuine. I'm for real. You know, I'm not perfect, but it's like, yeah, I want to, like, let's talk about it. Let's, you know. And so whether it's music or like this show, like I couldn't have done it with the people that I spoke with, you know, including my wife. You know, she's like the first, she always the first one that gets the ideas and like, yo, I want to do what you think. And she be like, you know, but to be able to kind of go on both sides of it, like the creative as well as the business, is really important. So it's another level for me now. Yeah.
The business part is very important. Do you find difficulties doing business with other artists? And if you do, because I see that you're a chill guy and you're laid back, but when you do approach these difficulties, how do you overcome them?
I mean, first of all, I'm just upfront. I communicate well, you know, what I want, what I'm looking for. I'm selective anyway. You know, I think the biggest thing is you got to find the right people to rock with. You can't rock with everyone. And as much as I love music and talent is talent, I cannot rock with everyone. And that's difficult because, you know, a lot of people look at, especially in music, money is money. You know what I mean? Like, there's an artist now, you know, everybody in here probably an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know artists right now. Like, somebody knows somebody that rap or sing or play instrument.
Right.
And so I realized that early too, that I can't rock with everyone. So that instantly puts me in a different category anyway. But I know and recognize when I see it, you know, discernment, the spirit. And, you know, any challenges, I mean, to me, it just always comes down to communication, man. If you say what you need up front, get that paperwork, obviously. You know, usually you don't have too many problems, you know. And if you do, you just talk about it. And if something needs to be severed, then hopefully you're severed and the bridge is not broken, right? It's just like, okay, we see two different, you know, angles on this. I thought we could move forward together, but maybe let's come back. So, yeah, man.
100%. I like the way that you use communication to see through a problem. A lot of people either, especially now in this day and age, walk away from a lot of problems without
just talking,
working their way through it. Exactly. Without talking.
Yep.
I wanted to jump into some of the tracks I heard tonight. I do have some questions about that. I want to start off with Purpose Over Everything, and I wanted to ask you, what is your purpose over everything?
Before, when you would ask me that, I would say, you know, just music, right? But I've evolved and know that my tagline is the bridge to where you need to be or where you want to be. And so I realized that I'm bringing people from the space that they're in right now to another space. And usually, and I like to think, that's a higher, you know, location from here to here, you know.
Yes, indeed.
And so I've realized that I do that in music, you know, sonically, lyrically, you know, things that we just love about music, right? But then I think as a businessman and figuring out how I want to do things and how I want to bring people together and, you know, making sure everybody gets their credit and people get paid. And, you know, no matter the scale, it's like somehow I'm elevating people, you know, by just being me, you know, like I'm not like, you know, like this tyrant or like, you know, just, you know, how people can be kind of crazy with it. That's not me. That's not my style. But I am direct. I am open. I'm honest. I'm transparent. And I think that just allows me to just lead with intent. You know, I try to be the example that I'm talking about. Like if I'm asking you to do something, you better know that I'm already doing it or I'm doing it with you. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, I can't recall if I've actually done that because I think it's just not It's not of me to ask somebody to do something I'm not doing. I'm not willing to do it. I'm not willing to sacrifice. I'm not willing to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that could be money, that could be time, because it's really, you know, those are one of the most important things is your money and your time, right? And yeah, so I've learned that like that's my purpose. My purpose also is to change how things are done, the perception of what you know a black male rapper dad looks like. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I feel like I'm here for a lot of reasons to break generational curses.
Introduce them to a new mind state.
Yeah, new perspective. I think, you know, obviously a different presentation of what God is. Yeah, so I mean that's a whole show by itself, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a good question.
I wanted to go ahead and tell you that. No, you're welcome. No problem. I like the song "Time." I listened to it during the performance and outside of the performance. Loved it. And is there one message? If there was one message you would like the audience to take away from this track, what would that be?
You talking about Wait?
Yes, Wait. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Wait was amazing. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, you good. You good. I mean, that song, man, literally took me like 10 minutes to write. Like,
it was a great song.
It was just about patience. Like, it was really about being patient, waiting. You know, if you are a believer of a higher power, you know, listen, you know, wait on him. But also prepare yourself for when the wait is over. You know, like oftentimes we know we waiting, but we on IG scrolling. Like, what am I, you know, like I know I'm waiting, but you know, I'm mad I gotta wait. But, you know, be prepared, do the work. So when the wait's over, you can just boom, I'm out here, I'm gone. You know what I mean? And then I feel like there's another one. Yeah, just for people to understand that, you know, granted, so much has happened with technology and all this stuff. Slow down, bruh. Slow down. You ain't got the rush. You know? So that's why the part of, so why do we find ourselves rushing time, beating time, moving time, losing time, and forgetting time? When all we had to do is wait. So, yeah, God bless me with that one, man. I wish I could write another song like that, but yeah. I appreciate it.
I gotta give you a hand clap on that. I listen to all your music with intent, but that track itself just really did it for me, to be honest. It spoke to me.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem. What was the inspiration behind This Black Skin? The nail at the end was a nice touch, by the way. I did enjoy it. The Kaepernick.
Hey. Shout out to Cap, baby. Shout out to Cap. Shout out to my guy Corey though. Because when he gave me the idea of what he wanted to do, I was like, you know, because there was all green screen. You know what I mean? Like what we did was all green screen. So I was really like, yo, can we get the football field, you know, so I can kneel? Because I thought of this, I think when I was doing a performance, I did a virtual performance and I sent it in and I kneel in the performance. And I was like, yo, that's dope. Maybe I should do that. And he was like, yeah. He was like, sure. He was like, I could do it. You know, just real nonchalant, you know. And I was like, all right, like, we're going to see, bruh. And I don't think I told him I wanted to be like on the 50-yard line. And he was like, yeah. He like did it. So when I saw it, I was like, but yeah, man, the thing with the music was just, you know, given last year and all the police brutality, our history. You know, I went to a HBCU. Shout out to North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride. I learned a lot. I had some great professors that taught me more than what the curriculum was, and just my culture. And so and I've been in situations. I've been discriminated against. I've been in situations with police officers, black and white, as early as high school. So at first it was like I wanted to write. I knew a lot of artists were home. We got a mic. Yo, we going off on somebody, lyrically. We going off. We getting our feelings out. And so I was hearing some stuff, and I was like, I could take the angry black man, but I was like, man, nah, I think I need to do something that's encouraging us. And shout out to LMU Society for the beat. My guy,
Shakim.
Shakim. Oh, Shakim? Stop playing.
Of course I know Shakim.
Of course you know Shakim. Yeah.
I used to work with him.
That's what's up. That's what's good dude. But he helped me, I said, this is the beat that I want, the style of this like hip hop jazz record. And when I got it, I was like, yo, this is dope. But it was like, what do I do with it? And so it took me a while, but once I really realized that I wanted to, do something encouraging, again, I talked to my wife, got her ideas. She said something to me, and I wrote the hook. Stay encouraged, young brother, young sister.
Brother.
You know what I mean? Like, and I knew I had to do it like that too. Like that was the thing, Troy. I knew it had to be that soft tone Jastin vocal rather than something a little more
in
aggressive or And after I wrote the hook, I was like, this is brilliant. But I was scared for the verses, because then it was like, okay, now what am I gonna say? Like, what's the perspective now? And it took me literally, the album came out in May this year. It was the first single, and I wanted to drop it, of course, in February. Shout out to my homegirl Danielle, who helped me move that album along and helped me plan everything, the release plan. We knew we wanted to do it in February. I think I finished writing the song in December last year. Like, that's how tight it was that I didn't have no verses, because I was so nervous and scared of saying the wrong thing. And then finally I just like, bump this, just write, bruh, just write, and then we'll critique. And I ended up, I think it's probably one of my favorite songs, for real, like up until this point anyway. So yeah. That's
nice. It was a great song. It turned out very well. I actually remember when you just had the chorus. I do remember that. I do remember. I don't know. Did I? I think I did bring you on to perform the chorus at one point, and I was really thrilled about that. Yeah, really thrilled about the chorus. I knew that it was going to be something great. And you went ahead and you signed, sealed, and delivered it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Troy, one moment. I see an Aggie in here. I can't tell who that is. Is that Sham Reese? Please let me know who you are. And ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, we had a set earlier. Now we're doing the interview. Again, the proceeds of this event, a portion of the proceeds of this event, will go to a charity. I definitely think it will be Toys for Tots, because I know a lot about it. But I think each year I would love to kind of mix it up, because there's a lot of people doing a lot of different things that we don't know like that, Crystal, what's up? All right. So I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, y'all, if y'all have any questions, please write the questions in the chat. Please let us know how y'all feeling. Again, there's a lot of people in here. I am so grateful. It's crazy. So yeah, back to you, Tropra.
Thank you, appreciate it. How does one love in darkness? Explain us that, please. This
is why I call this dude Tropra, man. Like, yo. Come on, fam. Come on. That's like a question I would ask, because, and you think it's so like like everybody would get it, but everybody does not. Like that's why you that dude, man. That's why you that dude. Say the question again. How do you love in darkness? Is what you said.
Yeah, how does one love in darkness, and one meaning any human being generally?
Uh, it's about truth. And I think if you can be honest and open with yourself, then that gives you the opportunity to love yourself. And so regardless of like what's going on, and I'll be the first one to tell you, if y'all really knew what was going on with me, just as much as, you know, you or any of us, you would be like, what? Like, how are you? Why do you look like that? Or how can you smile? Or how can you make music? You know, because music is very giving. It's very giving. It's very draining. And I think the reasons because I love me. I want better. I want to be an example of something good. And so it doesn't matter what darkness is around. Then you take it on another level, you know. I mean, it's just all God. Like if you change love to light in darkness, you know, like you have to be a light in all this darkness. And what's crazy, Troy, is that I was working on this album like 2, 3, maybe 4 years before it came out, maybe 5 actually. And I was kind of rushing it because I was like, yo, I want to get this out. I usually have like the next album in my head or working on it while the current one is out. And so this one, I was like, I knew it would be special. Like it's deep, but it's still very simple. And then the pandemic happened. And it was like, now everybody feels the darkness. You know what I mean? Like I tell people often that I'm like, you know, this is the first time when you hit people up, I'm like, yo, how you doing? And you know how we are. We fake with it. Like, I'm good. I'm fine. Da, 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 da. And then, you know, I'm usually
Everybody
the one.
lies.
Yeah. And I'm usually the one that's like, you know, keeping it real. Like, yeah, I'm cool, but this is going on. That's going on. And they like, oh, well, I got to go. I'll talk to you later, Jastin. But this time, this time I feel like everybody was saying the same thing, you know, because no matter how much money's in your pocket, not in your pocket, you got kids or not, like everyone is affected from this. So like your platform, there's so many perspectives to this darkness that we're in. You know, even if you do have, you know, your wealthy money, whatever, or just a job, you have a different perspective than somebody who doesn't, you know, who lost their job, you know, and now they have to pivot. So I really, like, I just thank God for the moment that he allowed me to put the album out, because it was really like the perfect timing that it came out, because I feel like everyone can relate. And then I think there's different levels to love, and I think that kind of dictates the light, you know, on, you know, shedding light on in this darkness. And so when you go through the album, you know, just my love for God, I open up with that. Let me try to think of some of the records on here. This Black Skin, obviously, you know, loving who you are, no matter what shade, where you from, sex, whatever, you know. Can't do without love. We all have been hurt. You know what I mean? We've all had a heartache. And many of us, if we've been hurt too many times, we like bump love. I was like that. For, you know, after being divorced, especially the way it happened, I was like, I ain't getting married ever again. Ever. But I knew I had to grieve. I knew I had to grieve the relationship and what happened and the way it happened, and it wasn't my fault. And granted, I wasn't perfect. However, you know, again, things that happened was not right. And And once I grieved, it was like, okay, I think I can love again. I think I can love somebody enough and be okay with them hurting me, because they're going to eventually hurt you. Something. And it may not be deliberate, right? It may not be like bad intentions or nothing, but just the reality is hurt is going to happen. And if you're not ready to be hurt, then you can't be in a relationship. So just all these different songs were just different perspectives of love in darkness. But it always starts with you. And I think, you know, if you believe in a higher power, man, then you got to have that connected so you can be the light, you know, for yourself and for someone else. So ain't nobody ever asked me that.
Part question.
So
it's
what?
a 3-part question. That was part 1 of the question. So the
Y'all,
next
this
part
brother
is,
got part 1s and 2s and 3s, okay? Oprah, step your game up.
yeah. So part 2 of the question is, do you believe in unconditional love? If so, if it, depending on your answer, will be the 3rd question. But I want to go ahead and lay it out there anyway.
Yes.
If so, do you believe or do you think love is supposed to be unconditional from its foundation, right? Just from love being love itself, do you believe love should be unconditional? Because there's unconditional love and then there's love, right? But then love could be with conditions. So
yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say that, because I speak on that in the poem. You know, just because you do one good thing for me isn't love. You know, there's another line I say in there, and of course, you know, we can go in scripture and stuff too about what love is, and the main thing is it's not on conditions. It's that's not real love, man. You know, and when you think about it in the context of people or of a thing. You know, let's just say basketball. I love basketball. I love the Warriors. Been following them for a minute. Shout out to Steph Curry. Like, I love the game. I don't love every aspect of the game, but I love the game. You know, so just like with people, we may not get along, and I may not like every single thing about what you do or what you think, but I love you. You know? Now, I think where things get shady for people is, you know, that hurt part. Well, you did this to me. You know, people petty, man, especially black folk. Let me keep it 100. We petty in the mug, bruh. So for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just, I don't know. There's like this spirit about it. I think even, you know, maybe it's a generational thing, curse that's been passed down to us, but it's just, people are fickle, because it's like, well, if you do this for me, then I'm gonna do it for you. But if you love me, should you not? You know. Now, again, that doesn't mean you just walk all over me. And I think too, there's like another flip side. If you love me, you will, you think about what's best for me. And if you know what you're doing is not best for me, and you love me, you wouldn't do it, or you would walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I actually have a song called Love You. I thought about performing it tonight because it was supposed to be on the album. But it was a song that I really had to bring out that point of, like, love. It's not conditional. It's unconditional. It's through thick and thin. You know what I mean? Now, granted, you still got to communicate in love, right?
Yes, you do.
You got to speak in love. You got to talk in love. You know, but if you're talking in petty and you say you love someone, you don't really love them, fam. Like, I'm sorry, you don't. You want to maybe, but you don't. Come on.
If
so
we're
yeah,
talking in petty.
I'm just.
I'm
trying to teach y'all today, man. I'm trying to teach y'all something. What'd you say?
Put that in my Rolodex for sure. I'm gonna have to put that goes in the Rolodex. If you're talking in petty,
it ain't love, man. It ain't love, yo.
Outside of the inspiration you gathered from Ryan Leslie for your track "Glory," what were some other motivators that inspired you to make an original version of that track to where there was no copyright infringement?
I mean, it was just about, to be honest, about ownership. I've been about ownership since I started music, and I love kind of where the industry and people, you know, on a very high up to not as high up, are expressing that and talking about it. Ownership, ownership, ownership. And I think I am very blessed to be able to write, produce, play, because I'm not gonna say that I don't need anyone, but I can produce my own stuff, you know. And so it was like when I realized like this is a phenomenal song, I get great feedback from it. It's not like I could just hit up Ryan Leslie and be like, actually I did do that. I hadn't heard nothing back. But it's not like I could hit him up and be like, fam, I did a remix of your drink. Like, what's up? You know? Anybody on here, there's like almost 10,000 people in here. If you know Ryan Leslie, please let them know. But when it hit me, that I was like, dang, I can't perform this song. This is a really good song. It would be dope on my set list. Like, you know, I know the church folk will love it, but I think people outside the church will love it. I just got to work, and I think this was like my fifth track. So like the version you heard today, it was like my fifth version. So usually when I make an original joint, especially if I'm flipping a song, I just create until I find something that I like. And the first few was like, that wasn't really it. And then when I did this one, I said, oh. I said it's got a little worship vibe to it, which the Ryan Leslie Glory music version wasn't so much. And so I was like, oh, Jay, I think you want it. And then again, I let a few people hear it. They like, yo. So I was like, okay, we in the pocket now. So yeah, man, just ownership, man. Ownership. I want to own everything I do, man.
Ownership is a big thing, man. I even got into trademarking and everything like that for the stuff that I own. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's that business conversation. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Do you find it important to incorporate God in secular music?
Yeah. For me, like growing up, my mom, you know, we went to church, you know, I knew about God, but I think what changes things is you have to have an experience with God to know him, just like anything else. You got to have an experience. And I think that's why a lot of people, depending on where they are, oftentimes it's because they haven't had an experience yet. Excuse me. And I had a lot of experiences growing up, but I still didn't like know him. I still wasn't like in it. And when I committed myself to music and committed to incorporating him, you know, I remember being at A&T and I used to, you know, we used to get CDs from people all the time and it was some of everything. And when I heard the Christian hip hop, it was just scripture. That wasn't resonating with me. Like, it was like, I hear what you're saying, but it don't resonate with me. Like, that's a dope bar, but it don't resonate with me. And so I kind of innately knew that when I was asked to step into this field that I wasn't going to be scripture. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't, but that's not the way I present God to you. You know what I mean? And so one of the things that I always do is I make it a goal that he has to be in my rhyme somehow. You know, it may be God, it may be Jesus, it may be him, he, you know, some type of metaphor or simile that it's in it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm just not writing just to be writing. And no disrespect to no one, but I just have a purposeful intent with what I do. And so I'm conscious of that, you know, and sometimes I'll go back and be like, I ain't say nothing about God in here. Like, you know, let me figure out how to say I got to do it at least once, you know, and sometimes some songs are more geared towards him in that way, right? Like Tag, this is more, it's an ode to God, like period. You know, everything you see is the glory of him. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But then take a song like, you know, It's the Holidays, for instance. You know, it's still about him, but I'm really trying to get people to understand the spirit of the holidays, especially given the time that we're in, you know? So it's always about the perspective on like, how can I, you know, but when you, by the time you end the song, you like, dang, like I feel something more than just, oh, this just set the mood because he got a dope voice or it was a dope beat or, you know what I mean? So.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Well, moving forward, another question I have for you. I do love the answer, by the way. When was there a time, this is based on your song, Friends, right?
Yes.
The song about letting friends go.
Yeah.
When was there a time that you had to let a friend go, and how did you go about removing this individual from your life?
I had a feeling this was gonna come up. Cause it's not an
brought
easy.
Me in for a reason.
Absolutely, it's not an easy thing to do. You know, I with people. I mean, anything. I'm 100 in or I'm 100 out. I'm not a very, you know, 50% type of person. 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm either 100 or 0. And so when it comes to people, it's I love hard. You know what I mean? Like if I call you a friend, if I, you know, put you in my circle and like I'm serious about that thing. You know, like I want to know how you doing. I don't care about the business and all this. Like we may have business but I care about you and and what, you know, who you are and what's going on. And I have several situations. And it was what's ironic is like when I decided to write this song, I think it's one that's been sitting on me for years to write, but I just never wrote it. And then some things happened with several people, and it was like, bruh, you have to love you more than you love them. And I don't mean that in no type of shade, right? But I think if we all love ourselves more than we love other people and things and this and that and the third, I think relationships would be much better. Much better.
Yes, indeed.
You know, and so you know, one of the you know, is my homeboys. It was like I had conversations about what I felt like I needed in our relationship, and I wasn't feeling like I was getting it. And it was a couple of years, like from when I had the initial conversation to, you know, we moving forward. I'm like, okay, I shared it. He got it back. Boom. And then I'm still finding myself, I'm still feeling the same thing. And it was like, yo, at some point I had to really decide, like, it's okay if you can't give me what I need, but I cannot continue to move forward like this. And so you're not a bad person. You're not, you know what I mean? It got nothing to do with that. And that's going back to the pettiness. That's how petty people can be, right? They start saying all this stuff. And I'm not saying that that's what he said. I'm just saying, like, you know, when you start communicating what you need, people instantly become defensive and then petty. And it wasn't about that. It was like, this is for me. This is what I need to do. And I recognize this and it's okay. But yeah, I can't move forward like this. So I had to be out, you know, and what's cool is, you know, through time, we've been able to reconnect. And again, more communication on where he is, where I am. Okay, bet. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, like I said, I think this song was a long time coming because it wasn't just like this situation with him in the time that I wrote it. You know, like I said, you talking about years. And, you know, I used to be I used to be the person that would spend my Saturday mornings texting everybody in my phone to see how they doing. That's how I spent most of my Saturday mornings. Like, yo, what's good? How you doing? Just checking in with you. And I would like literally, I guess this is before we had real copy and pasting, but I would text this to every single person. And then, you know, when some people would write back, then you like, I'm spending like 4 hours texting, or some people would call.
Fingers racing.
Yeah. And you on the phone all
that's
day.
Like That's like half the Saturday gone, huh?
But that's what I would do.
Like
But how many people do that with me like that? Especially in the early days is what I'm, it didn't happen like that. And so I had to realize again too that like, one, everybody's not me. However, if you're not putting in the same type of work that I'm putting in to invest in this relationship, I can't operate like that no more. And I think that's the thing is like I was cool for a minute doing it the way I was. Like I knew people weren't me. I knew people didn't think the way I thought, and I was cool with it. But I think in a lot of relationships as I've gotten older, I've become better at who I am and being honest about what I need and what I want. It was like, yeah, I can't do that no more. Nah, that doesn't work for me. And if you can do it, great. We can up this relationship a bit, right? If you cannot, I got to make a decision. And so, yeah, I don't spend my Saturdays so much like that anymore. But now I got the right people that they checking in on me and I'm checking in on them. So
that's what counts. You got to have great people in your circle, man.
Absolutely.
Some people say that you're only as good as your circle is, So
facts, bruh. Facts. Listen, man, before we get ready to close out, I know we've been here. I just saw it. It didn't feel like it's been like almost 2 hours. If y'all have any questions, please put them in the chat. Let us know something. I think Troy got it covered, but I'm just saying, I want to keep y'all engaged. I hope y'all been enjoying it. Again, I appreciate every single person. And Troy, we got 9,000 plus people in this room.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I do appreciate everyone tuning in. This is amazing, man. Thank you for granting me this opportunity.
Absolutely,
I'm
brother. Absolutely.
Definitely blessed to be here.
Very kind of you.
I wanted to start closing it out by asking this question. How do your kids influence your music making process and your drive to put out positive music?
This dude, I just can't. I'm about to throw my phone, but I need it. I love it, man. Shout out to my boys, Jason, Jameis, and even my stepkids, Charlie and Davin. I'm gonna try to make this. I'm gonna try to condense this, but I'm gonna give it kind of each child like their own space, right? In marriage one, I had 2 stepkids, and it was a different experience for me. But I learned, not like I had to, but I still had to learn how to love someone else's child as my child. And it was a dope experience for me, and I loved it. I used to teach, so I know how to be around young folk. I got thousands of little cousins and stuff, and seem like they always gravitate to me. I don't know, but with my stepkids, at the time it was like I just wanted to show them that like you have your mom and you have your father, but you also have this another dude that loves you, and that maybe can teach you some things, and you know what I'm saying? And so that was like always my goal. But I'm also the type of parent that I can learn from my kids. And so I was always kind of like looking for, or I would always notice what they would teach me. And so it was a dope dynamic for me, and just coming into that, and so they were motivation for me to go. For one, I think one of the biggest motivations for them at that time was you can go after what you want and truly love what you do, and you can get paid to do it. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. Moving on to my first child, Jace. The glory of that boy is just, he just changed my life about what love could be. And so I think like most parents, it's like, you never knew you could love somebody that much. Like, at the time I was like, I love his mom. That's like the biggest love I had, right? But when he was born, love just went up. You know how Fat Joe and Ja Rule said yesterday's prices is not today's. Yesterday's love is not today's love, bruh. Like he just changed the game, and you know, he was a miracle baby because I wasn't sure if I could have kids due to a groin injury I had. And so I was just blessed. I saw God in a different way in that. And so he was more motivation. And then of course, when all the domestic violence shenanigans and you know, not being involved the way I need to be and want to be, it shifts what I do and how I do it as an artist, as a man, as a businessman, because regardless, I may not talk to him every day, I may not be engaged with him every day or know what's going on or whatever, I still recognize what I put out is going to him. You know what I mean? And one tidbit before I go to my next child is I always just want to have music to be able to, you know, that you could ride to without switching it. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, being an 80s baby, loving hip hop, this and that and the third, like, yeah, I listen to everything. I still listen to everything. Certain things I can't, you know, it's a little too vulgar now. I just can't anymore. But you know, typically if you got kids in the car, you got a whole different playlist you playing. And so I try to tell parents the way I pitch my music sometimes is like, yo, you got kids, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yo, you ain't got to turn me off, bruh. Like, that's a win-win, you know? So that's how I be trying to sell myself, man. And then with my second child, Jameis, unfortunately he died at 22 weeks. He was actually born way early, but we got to experience life. You know, he wasn't fully developed, but he was developed enough. I mean, he like fit in my hand, and he lived for like an hour and a half. Yet again, I saw God in a different light, different perspective. You know, my first child, I saw him born, he crying. Jameis didn't come out like that. You know, I saw him breathing, but his eyes he wasn't developed enough. His eyes weren't even open. He didn't cry. And it was just like, yo, this is, ooh. And so I think even initially, like the grieving, when it started, I started creating a whole bunch of stuff, and it just elevated. Like I could hear the difference in what I was making. And to be honest, I had the whole record of Love and Darkness ready at that point, but I started making so much new content that I said I gotta like redo the whole album. And I ended up making like 18 songs, which is why it's a 1 and a 2, and he was the catalyst for that. So yeah, man, kids are my inspiration, not only just for birth and being a father, but obviously the legacy. You know, it's about that for me as well. You know, I want to leave something for them, and I want to leave more than just money though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything that I do, how I operate, how I make moves, how you see me, you know, online and like what you see online is what you see in person. Like I'm not two different people. You know what I'm saying?
Thank goodness for that.
And so, okay, but I know that's the type of thing that, you know, Jason's generation, that's what they deal with now. It was different for us, you know. So I want to be the example. I take it head on. Sometimes it can be very challenging, especially when I don't know how he's doing and feeling and thinking as a young black man at 8. You know what I mean? But I try to do the best I can, man. The spirit really guides me on how to shift, and you know. And I often think too, would I want my son to see me do this? You know, can I stand by what I'm doing if my son saw this? So,
good question.
Yeah.
There is a question in the chat waiting for you. I'll go ahead and announce it. It's from Damian Lewis. Does understanding your relationship with your mother prevent you from any retaliation towards your son's mother?
Dang.
That was a really good question. I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Okay. Let me put on my glasses for this one. Does understanding your relationship with your mother prevent you from any retaliation towards your son's mother? I don't even know how to answer this, man. I would say yes. It does. And unfortunately, my mother and my father actually had similar situation. So it's just an interesting dynamic. I mentioned about generational curses and breaking that. I know that I'm called to do that in my family and many families. That's why I take being an artist so seriously. But I think on the retaliation part of it, I think just in general, having the relationship with my mom and knowing her history and her past, I think it's more from a woman's standpoint. But as far as like preventing me from doing any retaliation, I don't think I've ever thought about it in that light. I think I just think about it more as a person. Like this is a person that I love. This was a person I was in love with. This was a person I would do anything for. And even though I was done wrongly, I was accused of some radical things. I don't need to retaliate. And then taking another step further, that's still my son's mother, so I still don't need to retaliate. It's something that I realized, about God is like, I don't care how badly somebody does you, you can never do anything worse than what God could do to them. Never. You think you can pop off and, be petty or just as petty or hit below the belt. What God got planned for people, bruh. I ain't even trying.
You're gonna have to do that.
I don't have to do nothing, bruh. I don't have to do nothing. And so, Damien, that was kind of, I'm human. I wanted to retaliate like a mug. I'm gonna be honest. But it wasn't. It was like, for what? Like, one, that's not me. Two, I hate drama. Like what I look like it just, so my mom didn't like really help me prevent that part of the situation. So that's dope. Most would have hit back hard. You took the high road, and we all know East Street is crowded. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm Michelle Obama that joint, man. Took the high road.
Michelle Obama the joint. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That's a good question, man. That's a good question.
I got two more questions.
I was like, yeah, how where we going with this, baby? Like you hit me hard, man. You hit me hard. I love it though. I love it. I love it.
So what does the future of music look like in your eyes?
Wow.
Not your music, but the future of music altogether. Where do you think we're headed? What do you think we could expect to see, especially within the music industry itself?
I love that because I am an A&R. So if you're an artist, please, hit me up. I help develop people and help you on your music. I think for me, I love that we're getting into more ownership. And I think more artists, even though there's a lot of us, I think more of us have a desire to really learn the business. I think our generation, what I grew up watching, even before I stepped into music, it was just about getting the music out. Not saying that has like changed per se, but it's like people want to get it out, but they want to own it. People want to get it out, but they want to know the best way to do it. And I think that's dope. So I think that leads to different opportunities because people are more invested in what they're doing. Granted, you'll always have that bunch that's just, trying to make a buck. I mean, I tell people all the time too, like, anybody can sing, anybody can write. Like, it's really not that hard. It's not as hard as you think it is. And obviously we can tell with some of the stuff we've heard over however many years now. But another conversation. But my point is that some people's intent is not as pure as somebody who loves the craft of music, who's open to all genres, and you know what I'm saying? Like, really love the craft of creating, you know, like it is a privilege to create. Like, you literally taking something, out of nothing, and then it has the potential to go all over the world. What? That came right out of this basement. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really think about that, and so I do feel like more people, they want that ownership. They want to know how to do it right. I think with this NFT, crypto, blockchain, metaverse, I think that is an interesting tale to it. And some of that I'm trying to figure out if how much I want to get involved. By the way, I do have an NFT app. I'll be posting that soon. Y'all gonna see about it. So I'm trying to definitely into the NFT space. But I think that's bringing a different avenue, a different perspective to music. I was just talking to my homie Jordan about it, and he was saying how on one aspect of the metaverse, it allows people to listen without critiquing about how they look and, you know, color of the skin, the weight, are they teeth straight, or, you know, all these different things. And I was like, yo, that's dope. That's like really, really dope. Hey, Nikki, thank you for rushing the stage. I appreciate that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So I think that does give a different avenue to music, to where maybe people who felt like they couldn't get heard, they step into the metaverse. Now people can just focus on the music. And then I think with trap music, I don't know. I don't think even a couple of years ago I didn't think it was going anywhere, and even at this moment I'm still like, I don't think it's going nowhere.
To be honest with you, I feel the same.
But
I think something contemporary should be next. Something that strings together a multitude of genres with a hip hop backtrack. Or rap backtrack, or drums that are like slightly trap, maybe infused with old school boom bap with a couple of strings, some other funkadelic kind of sounds that we could re-implement. You know, they say history repeats itself, but never the exact way, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So
I think there are. I've been hearing people outside myself. I've been hearing that fusion. And I'm just kind of looking forward to it. I'm you know, even myself, I'm trying to, how can I push my genre, because that's ultimately what I've done. You know, I don't fit the typical brand of hip hop, you know, even in Christian hip hop. So it's like I'm trying to push it. I'm trying to see what other people and work with other people to push it. So it's not.
What would you call your genre of music?
Hip hop renaissance.
Hip hop renaissance. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I call it. Yep.
At one point, I was working on a genre myself, but continue.
Oh, where? Yeah. Well, I knew I didn't fit into the norm, and so it was like, instead of trying to fit in the box, just create your own. But that still doesn't mean that I can't go outside of those guidelines, right? And that's why I love working with people. And so I think music. There was something else I was going to say. I think 80s music is definitely coming back. That vibe, that feel is coming a bit more. I know the industry is asking more for it. So producers are trying to, you know, tap in and mix, again, that sound with the current sound. So it's getting interesting. For me personally, dog, I just wish, I hope one day the hip hop renaissance would be like a real genre or a subgenre of hip hop. So we can just, I don't know. I remember growing up in the 90s, it was like we had East Coast, West Coast, we had gangster, we had conscious, we had like, and all of that was thriving on radio. Still, of course, it could have been better, but in a lot of ways it was still, and I think now it's just just one-sided. It's either, and it's just really like there's enough for us to eat out here. There's enough of opportunities, platforms, given technology and the internet, for us to
Indeed.
all have a space. So, when you turn on the radio, you don't just hear, EDM is definitely killing it now too. But you don't just hear EDM. You don't just hear trap. You don't just hear the typical love pop songs type. You know what I mean? Like, you get this variety that can help shape you, and not just, and given that there's so much music, it's hard for people to find good folk.
I think, and this is only my personal opinion, I think that for the future of hip hop, we should look at EDM and what it does, right? Because I used to be part of, little backstory, I went to over 500 to 600 raves in Brooklyn, New York. So I was part of the EDM scene. And one thing I noticed about EDM music is it could touch any other genre of music and totally morph it into what it is. I mean, totally. Like reggae could become raga. A lot of people don't know, but drum and bass is all it really is sped up hip hop loops. Or a lot of hip hop. Dr. Dre was known for doing this, slowing down pop music, and then using that within his production. Timbaland was also big on that too. So it's just finding a way to kind of incorporate the elements of sound, not necessarily always sampling it, but every genre has its own element. And if you're able to grab the element and then repackage that in a way that is in the realm of hip hop, I think that could birth a new direction for hip hop altogether. And another thing that I haven't seen done strong in a high executed, at a high level, was the incorporation of scores in hip hop. I know that a lot of people like to license their music out, but I make scores. I started off making hip hop, but then I started making what they call contemporary hip hop, and then I went on to make scores for music, like for Human, and then the commercials I have for Human. I score all those things.
Wow.
And just putting the element of scores in the hip hop would be great too, because scores evoke emotion, right? That's what scores are for, is to evoke the emotion while you're watching the picture. Now, what if you could implement that same thing into hip hop, making it even stronger than what it already is, adding a couple of twists and turns that people are not used to? But that's just my take on it.
Absolutely. Orchestration is dope, and to in on that bit, tag this, I did, I don't know if you could really hear it, but I added a whole lot of that in the hook, which was an initial idea that I was really thinking. But even being a band geek, when I first started producing, I was orchestrating a whole bunch of stuff in my hip hop sound, using strings and horns and, oboes and clarinets and all this stuff. And we typically don't see it in hip hop unless it's a live performance. But I think that's one of the key things about my sound, is that I sound better on a live setting, rather than, sample drums and, your regular boom bap. I'm not saying that I still can't kill it, but I know, any producers that I work with, that's why I work with Tone Jones so much, because he's a musician and he typically has a live sound in his production. And that is why I continuously work with him, because I know I'm gonna get that. If I go to somebody else, they don't, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be a drummer in order to do that nowadays, given technology and stuff. You ain't got to be the one in the studio, on the actual drum set or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But
you're right, not like back in the day.
Yeah, so right. So it's interesting. But I know there are people that's doing that, really bringing in orchestration into hip hop or their brand of music, period, to make it give more of that emotion. So I love that you said that. Funny. That's dope.
I like when you said that, you're a producer, but you orchestrate it. So, at one point in my own path and journey, I was always trying to put a different label to things so I could make myself stand out. And so I came up with this phrase, just for kicks and giggles. People could use it if they want. But I called myself an electronic orchestrator, because that's what I did.
Okay.
I would open up Logic and I would orchestrate. I'll see things as like a puzzle. So I'll probably grab this loop and this sample that somebody sent to me, morph that, and then put my own backtracking behind it, and just play with certain things in certain ways to where the puzzle finally became complete. And I orchestrated that. I didn't necessarily produce it.
Gotcha.
Like I feel like production is more of like a from ground zero. I opened up the drum pad. I started, putting things together. I didn't play the piano. I produced this, but I orchestrated things. It's how things come together, right?
I like that. So say it again. Electronic
approach it. Orchestrator.
Electronic. Okay. All right. I see you. This boy talented, boy. I tell y'all, he talented, man. Again, y'all, we appreciate y'all joining us. If you haven't already, please, all these people in here, please follow, hit the follower or the follow button. It's 9,000 plus people in here, brother, and they have spent the better of over 2 hours with us tonight for this charity event that I just popped in my head. I was like, y'all want to do this? I'm gonna do it on volume. So I appreciate every single one of you. Again, before we get out of here though, because people got to work tomorrow and stuff.
Yes, indeed.
If you have questions, put them in the chat. We'll try to answer them before we get out of here. Please hit the follow button. I'm trying to say what else. Shout out to my wife. Thank you for the amps. Let me get my air horn. Yeah, man. I'm really in awe tonight on how this really went down, man. So yes. One last question.
Yeah. And what can we expect from Jastin artists in the future?
Everything, man. I'm about to take over the world, bro. Next year, I'm dropping Love and Darkness 2. I really not sure on the timeline. We're working very hard. Shout out to my collaborators. Honestly, the album is like, I know what the album is, but it's just going back and fine tuning it. I have a few new songs, like I did. Tag This was added to the album. I really want to do a song specifically for my son. My son Jameis. So I'm kind of debating on that, but definitely look forward to that. I have shifted to sync licensing, so I am focused on getting my first placement. However that goes, I've been working with a lot of people and hope to work with more. Again, if you're an artist and you want to get your music into TV and film, hit me up. I'm working with a company called Smash House, and they allow you to do exactly that, but without a middleman. So you get to build your relationship with the top brands. If they love your music, they deal directly with you. And what they pay you, you get all of it. Unless you obviously have collaborators, okay. But Smash House doesn't take any of those sync fees. You just pay a subscription every month and submit. So that's what I've been doing. Definitely working with my guy Damian Lewis. We're dropping his album sometime next year, or I think it's gonna be an EP. Shout out to the latest track we did, Vibe. It's at 100K. It's only been out for like 5 weeks, bro, and it's got 100K streams on it. So shout out to the fans for him. And I'm just, I feel like I got something else going on. Shout out to Melody Seekers, the songwriting group I'm in, and we're working on a single that we hope to put out next year. I've kind of delayed it a little bit. I think it's a little bit on me now, given some of the things I've been going through. I've slowed it down a bit, but it's a dope song. Some talented people working with, and then just finding my way more in the A&R space. I'm just looking to work with more people, develop artists that I believe in. Shout out to my homegirl Adrian Taylor. She's dropping new music next year. It's another artist that I developed early on. We've had some time away, and she started to create music again. So however I can help her move the needle for her stuff. But yeah, man, I think again my focus is just sync licensing, get my first placement, um, in
And you
something.
will.
You know what I mean? In something.
2022 will be your year.
Yeah,
Claim it.
and then
Gotta
just
claim it.
helping
Right?
Troy. The biggest thing is just helping others do what they want to do. I am want to get more into voiceover work. So if you need a promo done, you want a brother to do what he do, hit me up. So that is another space that I want to get into. I also want to get into more hosting.
Mm.
Just hosting anything. I mean, online, in person, whatever the case is. And then finally, the Artist to Artist podcast. It's where I interview, a creative. It's not so much about in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. And so, yes, we will have Troy. We'll be probably back right on here on Volume. And,
Yes, I will.
just converse. It's not scripted. I'm not going to have questions typically written out. It's just really going to be us vibing and you sharing your story of who you are. But also, I want to do music reviews. I want to start doing music reviews. So that'll be a segment or a portion, whatever you want to call it, to artist. And,
We have such and such here today. His album was. Let me stop.
Yeah. So a lot of things going on, man. But being very intent on it and want to see results reach a higher level in what I've been doing, man. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, I think that's the end. That concludes my interview with you, Jastin.
Hey.
Thank you for bringing me on as a guest interviewer. I love it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
For those of you who are wondering who I am, with your permission, I will reintroduce myself.
Please.
All right. For those of you who are watching and who don't know who I am, my name is Troy. I'm also known as Wise Truth. I do own a platform by the name of Human, where we encourage people to find truth in another person's perspective, bringing people together one culture at a time. You can find me on Instagram at human.world. Any other information that you would need will be also there on our Instagram, just such as links to our website, some of the closings, ways that you could donate. If you like my interview style, you can also message me to partake in your platform activities and to come on and interview you also. It is Human with a V where the U is supposed to be. HVMAN.world on Instagram. Have a great night, and thank you, Jastin.
Hey, brother, thank you, man. Thank you. I really had to give a lot of love. I knew you was gonna hit me with questions, but bruh, you really hit me with some questions. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. I couldn't have done this in the way that it was, and to the fans, the community of Volume, the platform. I really appreciate y'all. 9,507 people at this moment in time. Crazy. The most I've had on this platform. And so again, I thank y'all. Peace and love. I will leave you guys with another video to close it out. It is debuting my lovely wife, Kelly. It's called Can't Do Without Love. It's the second single off of Love and Darkness 1. And I will see y'all next time. Y'all, we gonna do this again next year, right, Troy?
Peace. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Just let me know and I'll be there, Jastin.
Most definitely, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Here is Can't Do Without Love. Oh, man. It say it can't find the file, y'all. That's messed up, ain't it? Let's see if I can find it real quick. Oh, snap. I got like 3 people with me. That's crazy. All right, y'all, I got to figure this out real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, I can turn that off. Hey, there we go. All right, y'all, give me a moment. I'm going to try to find this video. So did y'all really y'all enjoy yourselves tonight? Damian Lewis said he did. So did y'all really enjoy yourselves tonight? So I can't wait to do this again. Okay, I think I got it, y'all. All right, any last words? Any last words before we get out of here as I play this last video? Anyone? Again, thank you for dropping the amps. Obviously purchased a ticket. I'm really thrilled. I think definitely this night was a success. So thank you to each of you.
If God is a woman, I ask her, what do women want, what they after? Every time I think I know a woman, I don't know a woman. Confused by a woman, been abused by a woman, accused of your abuse and not being there. Dang, woman, wave if your curves, but your words worth more. Women value is the word God made you. I'm faithful, only date you. Home run, I brave for you. Rush down the highway to save you. I see through the veil, hair curled over the hill. Marriage can't hide yourself. Break up, no makeup, make yourself. Love pamper pretty, the ugly truth take you down like a bully. Love only hurts if you wasn't in it fully. Alicia gave me keys to learn. I contemplate, was it love or lust that got me heartburn? Am I ready for love? Am I ready to love? It's like I think I'm ready for love. I think I'm ready to love. It's like man, I don't want no love. I don't need no love. It's like we need love. One love can't do without love. If God is a man, I ask him, why your woman so attractive? But the same beauty takes my freedom like taxes. Never think to respond, they reacting. A good man, cool until the fan breaks. Can't ventilate the weight to her face, so we wait. Provoked by your voice, I can't escape the pain inside my veins. I shoot like a mamba at his last game. 24 seconds of silence when I explain. Yeah, the sex good, what else you got? I love the roots, a black thought. Decisive decisions make you a boss. Reject those sour entities of your being underneath. A great man sees what you need when you deceive the sacred love he feeds. Love has a vision like waters at the sea. Can't find love like Dory. Am I ready for love? Am I ready to love? It's like I think I'm ready for love. I think I'm ready to love. It's like man, I don't want no love. I don't need no love. It's like we need love. One love can't do without love. I'd rather be alone than coupled with trauma. I'ma test love like a Tesla crash from trauma. Put brakes on love and separate like commas. The love of a man's heart is in his honor. Am I ready for love? Am I ready to love? It's like I think I'm ready for love. I think I'm ready to love. It's like man, I don't want no love. I don't need no love. It's like can't do without love. We need love. One love can't do without love. We need love. One love can't do without love.